Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the final episode of the Jojo Show.
And we have been blessed with new technology.
New technology.
Legitimate camera.
Crisp. Looking good.
Still figuring out what's too bright, what's not too bright.
I think this is good.
This is good?
No, I'll leave this video. Alright, we'll leave it how it is. If we get comments that it's a little desaturated, a little not bright enough, a little not warm enough, we'll edit it in post.
Let us know what you think
about the new technology.
of the new camera.
New technology. We told you. You subscribe to the Patreon, we're going to get new technology.
That's not what did it. But we appreciate it nonetheless.
Well, that's what we say, and we delivered.
We're always delivering new technology.
Always delivering. Alright. Jojo, episode 38, 39.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure they're both called Sleeping Slaves.
Sleeping slaves? What could that mean?
Very interesting. Final bit of Jojo. Your general thoughts.
Gold Experience Requiem.
Broken.
Busted. Absolutely busted. No doubt about it. Now. Prologue. Epilogue, rather. What are we talking about, Rocky?
Tell
me what we're talking about.
I went to the manga.
Yes.
I read it like 3 times. I think I understand it. Alright?
Dish it out.
Because I'll dish it out when we get to it.
Let's just
get into the general swing of
things. Season.
What a season it's been. Who could forget Bruno Bucciolati?
Who can forget the train?
Who could forget the Grateful Dead train sequence?
Pesci.
One of the greatest sequences I've ever seen.
In anime history.
What a great sequence. Alright? Araki, a lot of people say this, is the master
of what?
Of the situation. Oda, master of the world builder. Master world builder.
Yes.
Araki, master of the situation.
Can we get the two together?
And create the greatest thing of all time.
And create Part 9 in Rome.
That's crazy. We've already talked about our Part 9 theories. Let's not spoil people, because, you know, a lot of interweaving things going on in the Part 9 theory. But there you go. Alright, so, let's just get into it. We get a little bit of a flashback to before the crew goes on the quest. Luke getting revenge for...
remember Luca,
right?
Remember him?
Araki remembers.
Remember when Bruno could reflect damage into people?
Giorno could reflect damage. Only used once.
Remember the best scene of the entire season?
Where Dio turns up in the
little cameo.
The wallet. That's all you need to know. It's about Giorno, it's not about Dio, alright?
Is Araki more of a master of mystery than Oda?
No, for one very simple reason. There are parts to the story.
So one continue.
There's new protagonists every part.
But he knows Dio is indeed the carrot on the end of the stick.
It is.
And he dangles it in front of you.
But as we saw in part 3, Dio is dead. Dio's son. And that's interesting. Alright? Now. Enough about Luca and Lucha, because we go back to the fight. The Muda of Legends. Muda, alright?
Can we talk about that opening, though?
We get this, and then we get the opening. Alright?
He gets mooted.
Mooted into oblivion. Alright? What does Golden Experience Requiem say? What does he say? What does he say?
What does he say? And you'll never arrive at the truth.
You'll never arrive at the truth. Alright?
Mm-hmm.
Sends him into the water. The crew is like, did we win? Did we win? Jonah says, yes, we won. Alright? Now, the boss washes up in this, like...
some kind of canal.
Canal sewer system. Killed...
Doesn't believe he's alive.
No. Killed by a drug addict. How ironic. The man that put the drugs on the streets killed by a drug addict.
But wait,
he wakes up on an autopsy table. His liver gets pulled out, he dies again. Oh wait, he wakes up on the street, gets hit by a car, dies again. What's going on, Eric? He will never arrive at the truth of death. Now, I have pulled the explanation from Araki within the manga, the little side panels that say what stands are, what the abilities are. I'll read it to you. Return to Zero is the name of the ability. the strength of an attacker's will and actions will be reverted to zero. Even their deaths revert to zero, and thus they continuously die an infinite number of times.
This man's unbeatable.
This man's unbeatable. Even if you're immortal, he sends you into the infinite death spiral.
Classic.
You will never arrive at the truth. What do we think about this brokenness?
It's busted. It's absolutely busted.
Now, what is the truth, Eric? What is
Who
the truth?
dictates the truth?
No, what is the truth? Do you know the answer to this question?
It's a requiem.
It is fate. Truth is fate.
What the fuck? Oh,
you will never arrive at the truth of fate.
I want to talk about this briefly because this could be a 3-hour discussion about this
What?
season and about fate.
Mm.
Boss must messing around with fate,
Exactly.
so he gets punished.
Yes.
But you also have to have resolve to be rewarded by fate.
Yes.
But wouldn't fate happen if you don't have resolve, Christian?
No. Fate would win if you didn't have resolve.
So resolve delays fate.
The epilogue describes it perfectly.
Give it to me.
But you were not paying attention. Alright, let's just dive straight into this epilogue.
I was getting mad because I'm like...
Alright, the crew goes to... They want to go to the Coliseum to save Bruno, but he's dead. Paul Neff's in a turtle. He's a little ghost man.
Hilarious. Little ghost man.
Little ghost man. And there you go. Now, flashback
Why
time.
is his ghost little?
That's how ghosts are in Jojo. You know, the father of Kira's a little ghost in a picture.
Okay.
You know, whatever. It's a little ghost. Alright? He's in the turtle, so he's like... he's still transformed. Like, half transformed. Alright. The epilogue. Should we just go through the whole epilogue so I can explain this?
Yeah, no, just explain it to me.
No.
People saw it.
No. Alright? You must be explained the epilogue. Alright? We all know what happens at the start. Yeah, they get the quest, they get the father, the dog
authenticity points.
Yeah.
Indeed, an Italian man would indeed want revenge.
And indeed, an Italian man would be offended that he did not meet the boyfriend. That he never introduced himself. 100% authentic. Authentic. Very much so. Alright. So, Bruno takes the job. They're gonna look into it, see what's actually going on. They're not gonna just kill this man. They're not savages. Alright, they're not the hitmen. Do you pay taxes? What a great question. If you do, why are you bothering me?
Go to the coppers.
Go to the coppers. You pay your taxes. You should get the value. Alright? But you come to me, you want a little under the table action. He wants
revenge.
You come to Bruno. We'll get him revenge, alright? Mr. keeps on seeing this rock, this sculpture. What's going on? I keep on seeing it. Am I imagining things? We eventually get to the hotel. Not the hotel, the apartment building. Mr. goes up there. You know, Bruno goes in up behind him for backup. We meet the sculptor.
Some cobber.
Some guy doesn't know what stands are. Only knows about his ability. The rock, the stone, shows who is imminent of death. And if you touch the stone, you die painlessly. Therefore, giving up to fate, as it were.
Okay.
Right? Now, we've got to check something here. Stall for 1 second.
You know, it's sad every time a season ends at JoJo because you know you're not going to see these characters again.
That's true.
Or very rarely. What if we had season 2 of the Golden Winds experiences?
It's over.
A more gangster style, how does Jono keep his throne deal situation?
That is the genius of Araki. He leaves it in the back of your mind thinking what would be. What is happening? You'll never know.
They kiss in the hand.
Exactly.
Who are these men?
Alright.
Is there a plot to take him out?
Of course. But we'll never find that out. Alright, back to the epilogue. Alright? So, the sculptor, if you touch the stone, you die, all that kind of shit. Alright? Now, as the Araki drops the knowledge, alright? So I gotta pull it up. Because it's about Michelangelo, the sculptor. The master.
Oh, I read that part, Christian.
Yeah?
This was a mistake, huh?
We're trying out new technology. All right, I found it. Michelangelo once said that sculpture is already within the rock. You just have to let it free. All right?
I'm aware of this quote.
In the manga, he says Michelangelo was an artist who could see fate and make a perfect form which had always been there.
Yes.
He had the skill, the resolve to unlock fate.
Reveal fate.
The revealing of fate perfectly.
Okay.
The perfect sculpture, alright? Mr. has no idea what's going on, what he's talking about. Mr. playing Russian roulette. This guy can't die. It's not his time to die. Fate wouldn't allow him to die, alright? It's not his time, alright?
Yeah, alright.
The sculpture did not show his death, therefore he will not die, alright? Now, the sculpture's shape is Bruno. Bruno's gonna die. Mr.'s upset. Mr.'s trying to run around and find him, alright? Eventually, Bruno runs into the rock. Shenanigans ensue. They try and get the rock away from Bruno. Mr. ends up jumping out of the apartment building with the rock. Because if you break it, you can stop the rock from attacking. Therefore, delaying fate, right? Mr. jumps out of the window.
How does one delay fate?
We'll get into it, right?
Okay. Alright.
Mr. jumps out of the building with the rock.
Yeah.
And just at that moment, Fugo pulls up with the car. Mr. hits the car, softening his fall a little bit. And the rock explodes on the ground. Revealing that
The ultimate fate.
that Bruno, Abacho, and Naranjo are going to die. Alright? And there you go. And that's what it is. Not until the sculptor has his final thing to say. Alright?
What does he say?
Alright. He talks about they have the will to change fate. They resist fate, but fate will always win. They have the will to resist fate. Therefore, they are great men. Like Michelangelo. Because he had the skill to reveal fate. Bruno has the skill. The gang has the skill. The will to deny fate. For as long as they can. Alright?
But fate always wins.
What is this episode called?
I don't remember.
Sleeping Slaves.
Sleeping Slave.
What does Bruno say to Giorno? Alright? We were sleeping slaves, but now we are awake. We are victorious. What does that mean? Alright? Rocky.
But what does this mean for Giorno?
Just wait. Alright? They are sleeping slaves, as they are not aware of the fact that they cannot win against fate. And once they awake from their sleep, they die. Alright?
Okay.
Thus, they are sleeping slaves to fate. Fate will always win, but they can resist fate. They can test fate.
They have to have the resolve.
Fate can be bargained with to a certain point, but fate always wins. Alright?
Okay.
It's the inevitableness of death. No human man can escape death.
Is Giorno now the wielder of fate?
Who knows? Alright? Now, flashback
Because
over.
he completely... Fate. Diavolo sees him killing him, Giorno. That would arguably be fate because it happens in the future.
Giorno
changes fate.
Giorno was a sleeping slave to fate. But through this experience, he has evolved. He has awoken.
And
now he is fate.
Yeah, he's the wielder of fate.
Exactly. He's a god. King of kings. Alright, King of Kings.
So what's Araki's point this entire
Alright.
season?
Araki's point this entire season. Let's just finish the episode, alright? Giorno decides to keep the arrow as his friends gave their lives so he could have it. Alright, he's not going to destroy what his friends gave their lives for him to have. Alright? And then we get the final scene of Gangstar Giorno in the swaggest black suit. Just telling everyone he's a gangstar, right? Mister in his new suit, different colours. The wind comes into the room. The kiss on the hand. He is the godfather. He is the boss.
And a
Part
nice
5
little,
end.
nice little villa.
Exactly. Part 5 end.
Is it? Is it?
You will notice this is the first scene of the opening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it Bruno's childhood home? Thoughts?
No, because this is the same windows as the first time we see the boss. So it's his house.
It's his house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. There you go. Alright. Now. What I believe this season is about can be summed up in this quote. Sleeping slaves are free within their dreams. Just think about that. Alright?
Yeah.
What does Jono have? A dream. To become the gangster.
Yes.
But he is a sleeping slave to fate. So he is free of fate's inevitability within his dream.
Until what? His dream is realized, and then
His
fate
dream is
will take him.
realized, and he's won. Because you'll never
But wouldn't his
awaken to fate.
It seems like Araki wants to give the fate argument,
It's a question.
and then the human will argument.
That is the question.
It's both.
That is the question of the season. This is why it's the quote. This is why I summarized it in this quote. Sleeping slaves are free within their dreams. But
That's all
once
that
they're
needs to be said.
awakened, they are slaves to fate, to whatever, right?
I thought once they awaken, they die.
Exactly. That's why they're a slave to
But
fate.
Jono's awakened.
He's awakened and beyond, all right? Because he achieved his dream. That's the meaning.
So I guess ultimate fate is death, right?
Yes.
That's what Araki's talking about.
Ultimate fate being death, and the turns of events and all that kind of stuff. The truth being fate, because what happens is the truth. All right, Jordan's surpassed the truth. He surpassed fate through his awakening of stand abilities and personal growth, all that kind of stuff, and he's dirty. And there it is, part 5, and the question of free will versus fate. Araki doesn't answer it, he just gives us the question. Alright?
Maybe it's a bit of both. What are you saying?
I think that's what he's saying. It's a bit of both.
Because you need to have to resolve this fate.
You need to fight. As humans, we are fighting against the ultimate fate.
Yes.
Death. Things that you can't control. But you have to have the will to fight against it. As the stone. The stone, you touch it, you peacefully die. No resistance. You give in to fate, you die.
So, Mr.
By resisting fate, you go on to live another day.
So Mr. will peacefully die at some point.
Well, no, the stone
Has to be of
if
yourself.
you give in to the stone has to show you within its form.
Why did it say on his hand when he touched him?
It's like kill me or some shit, right? But the main point is you can give in to fate and peacefully die without resistance.
Okay.
Or you can resist fate and achieve full glory. And even surpass fate at one
We
point.
always need to achieve full glory, Christian.
Like Jono, he stayed gold, he became the
what it's
master of fate and in the universe.
Alright.
There you go.
Season ratings. Out of 5 stars.
Now, we're fresh off this season. Is it the best animated season of JoJo? See, because part 4, what does it leave us with the question? There's just the general bad. There's just the bad guy.
You don't need to give me a speech, Christian.
There's no speech at the end of part 4. Part 4 is just, your friends, we won, friendship wins, friendship over evil, good over evil, part
Sure.
4. You can say the same thing for part 5, but there's that interesting question about fate there. Also, part 5 crew, best crew.
Ah,
Part 5 crew, best crew.
thank fuck.
No one cares about...
Mr. got fucked up, but he didn't die.
No one cares about Green Emerald in part 3. No one cares about Abdul in part 3. Only people they care about is Poloneth.
So you're saying yes, it's the
Jotaro.
best. It's the best season.
It's the best season. But season 2 does have Lisa, which we can't deny. Alright?
Magic.
It's just that we get the testing of fate, the will to move forward, the will to not die. Bruno's will is so great that he denied the ultimate fate of his death, which was shown within the rock. Him getting a hole through the stomach.
Sure.
he surpassed fate. But then fate eventually wins. You can never escape fate. Jono will eventually die of old age. Alright? Can't escape it. You eventually lose.
Ratings.
Now, couple slow episodes here and there.
The Candy Boys.
It can't be a perfect season, alright? Let's just say 4.5 out of 5.
I agree.
It's greatness. If you're watching this video for some reason, you haven't watched part 5, I don't know what you're doing. Watch part 5.
You should probably watch it.
Alright, part 4. See, part 4, the problem with part 4 is, around the middle, you're like, what are we even doing? Because the villain hasn't shown himself yet. We're waiting around for him. Where is he? We're just waiting for a glimpse of this villain. Part 5, we know the villain from the start. We know who the main bad guy is. We know who we're going after. Simple quest. Simple goals. We have a connection to the bad guy. It's all there. It's all there from the start. That's what makes it great.
Alright.
Jojo part 5. Will be missed.
Jojo Show will return.
Jojo Show will return with part 6, Stone Ocean. Get ready for Jolene. Great character. Get ready for Iraqi shenanigans. Right? Part 6 I can describe as Iraqi shenanigans. Right?
Okay.
So part 6 is.
It's a little preview for the people.
A little preview for the people. Alright? Starts off with hype. I can tell you that.
We will be alive when part 7 comes out.
Oh, mate. David Productions are doing Fire Force, which is slated for at least 50 episodes. So that's minimum,
Why would they do that?
a year before part 6 comes
Why
out.
would they do that?
Why don't just go back to back and take a couple months off and back to back with part 6? And then give me part 7, alright? I'm guessing that they want Iraqi to actually finish Jojo, and then, you know, we don't want to be in a Toei situation with Jojo, right? There you go. Let's hope part 6 comes quick. We're going to need it. We're going to need that Jojo flavor in our life. Now, part 6 has similar qualities to part 5. We know who the villain is straight up. We got a whole bunch of interesting things going on. Mystery. Conspiracy. All kinds of stuff.
All right.
6. Get ready for part 6. Should be out in 2 years.
Part 5. What a journey.
What an adventure.
Gangsta.
Gangstar, baby. Alright. There you go. Alright. Now, for the final episode of the Fashion Girl Tournament.
There's no questions, Christian. Is there questions?
We do Fashion Girl, then we do questions.
Okay.
That's how it is.
The final bout.
The final bout.
The Ascended Man versus Dio Brando. How does one begin?
Now, do you want to do this debate style? Where one of us picks one of us picks the other. We make the strongest arguments possible for both. And then we come up with the winner.
Alright, what do you want?
I'll take the Ascendant Man.
Oh, okay.
Alright?
Alright.
Because you're always making the argument of iconography over actual fashion, alright?
Sure.
Not saying Dio doesn't have the actual fashion game on lock, alright? But let me get into the Ascendant Man, alright? We talked about it so many times. The pose. Doesn't give a fuck. He is indeed Ascendant. Just flowing off his body. The clothes. The cloth just drapes off his body effortlessly. The simplicity of the design of this outfit. We could see this on the runway. Easily. The Ascendant Man. It could appear on some kind of runway. Alright? The facial hair. The handlebar plus the skull goatee.
It's sexual.
A little bit of danger. The facial structure of this man. Everything comes together to tell you that this man is dangerous. This man does not give a fuck. This man will fuck you up. Alright? The contrast of the white clothes and the dark skin. Delicious. The simple yet stylish hair. Alright? It's not crazy. It doesn't have a million things going on. Alright? It's not Yu-Gi-Oh hair. It's simple. effective. Just swoop to the side. Because the business is the entire package. It's not the hair. Why would this man doesn't have the time to deal with his hair. The skull be a natural phenomenon, alright? There you go. That's my argument.
What about his gaze, Christian?
He's faking gaze?
Says, I don't give a I am so comfortable with how powerful I am that I don't invite you
Exactly.
to have a go. Christian,
Give me the argument.
My
for
question to you is, does the ascended man suffer from not being animated?
No. Because we're putting it aside.
Yeah.
We're putting
But we have
it
to bring
aside.
up the ultimate argument.
What? Iconography?
Dio
Brando.
What happened when Luca saw that wallet?
Nani.
And what did the audience do in response?
Cheered, gasped, shocked. Alright? Okay. He has that reaction. This is...
Will the ascended man have the same reaction after? Will he ascend into legendary characters? Your prediction.
Well, I can say he's a legendary character because I read the part. But that's unfair to this
Yes,
whole argument.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe we do the Fashion God Part 7. This man wins via his status in the community. But right now, no one knows about him.
Here's my argument.
Very few people know about him.
Here's my argument. You're not talking about his clothes.
I'm going to talk about Dio's clothes in a
I'm
minute.
talking about his clothes.
I'm just talking about the iconography of the man. He's an icon, there's no doubt. Road roller. The world. It is ideal.
That's true. But here's the thing.
Now let's move into the design. This is part 3.
It is.
Alright? Meat men. It's still in fashion.
Very much so.
But Araki is willing to test his audience with the fruity villain.
The all-time great.
The brave design. Brave. We talk about that 90s aesthetic. This is set in the 90s part 3, correct?
Yeah. Or
He's got
80s.
80s, 90s.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Okay.
He's got that...
This man is
baggy...
beyond era. This man is beyond era. Alright? You can't pin this man in an era. He's wearing genie shoes.
I kind of did pin him in there.
What era?
We have the big shoulder pads.
They're not shoulder pads, they're his muscles, alright?
There is muscles, nonetheless.
Alright.
We have the baggy
Attire.
I dare say this man is some kind of homage to the 90s, 80s rap scene. Would you agree?
Maybe.
Sure. Let's talk about the colors. Acid yellow
Black.
and black.
Green.
Depends on what version you see Dio in.
Mostly green.
The green is not disturbing.
Yes.
It is beautiful. The yellow depends on the version you see, but sometimes it's that golden crispness, Christian.
Crisp. Just like this video, crisp.
And the black brings it all together, and Araki outlines the business.
He does.
The neck, the chest, the abs,
The waist.
and the most important thing, Christian,
What's that?
the dick.
If you want to talk about sexual appeal, how can we not go past the ascended man? Open chest. Unlike Dio. He's wearing a tank top. Or he's wearing a weird
Vest,
vest-
V-neck, no
vest
V-neck,
turtleneck.
turtleneck thing.
ascended man. Showing all to the world. Alright? All to the world.
But what kind of belt is the ascended man wearing, Christian?
We can't say that.
We can't see
It's
that.
unfortunately...
Dio. Love heart belt.
What if I
slash
told you it was a
cockpiece.
skull belt?
I'd have to say it. Depends.
Cowboy boots.
Depends how garish.
No, it's all very
His
it's all
boots.
very classy. Man's a full class unit.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. I want to talk about the choice to give him the cut-off vest situation as well. Separates the torso and the waist from the legs, Christian. This man's all power.
Extra length in the body as well.
Yes. Let's talk about also the what cowboy style. You know, when they wear for the horses, they cut
Yep. Pants.
the genie shoes. Who is this man? Is this man magic? Yes, he is.
Oh, here's the word.
The six or five ringed golden wristlets. Bunches up the jacket. Power.
Yes, power, exactly.
Speed. The hair. Wild.
But tamed.
Not too wild, Christian.
Oh, yeah.
The face. Chiseled. From marble.
You said the man isn't chiseled from marble?
I'd argue that I'd argue that Dio has a better body. I all know whose body that is. That's not his body, Christian.
It's not. It's Jonathan Joestar's body.
The pose.
No, we can't talk about the pose. Because the Ascendant Man has the Ascended pose. I'll tell you one thing. The Ascendant Man is indeed beyond fate. Is Dio beyond fate?
Is that a spoiler?
No.
Okay.
He's the Ascendant Man.
Dio. Listen. What else can I say about Dio? The iconography, his fashion isn't bad.
No, it's not bad.
Dio's fashion is not bad. It's pretty good. His iconography is through the roof.
But we're talking about old stuff. Alright? It's old fashion. It's outdated. If fashion is relative to the time we live in right now, and who has the fashion that embodies the time period right now? It's not Dio. It's the Ascended Man. Fashion is time relative.
But shouldn't the fashion god indeed incend time?
No. Because fashion itself is time relative.
But there are timeless classics, Christian.
There are timeless classics. But as you said, Dio, very much that 80s, 90s era.
That's true.
The Ascended Man, timeless. Where do you put this man? You can't put this man anywhere.
Only to Ascension.
Exactly. That is why the Ascended Man wins.
Now, Christian, it's unfair that you took the Ascended Man.
Oh,
Because I wanted the Ascended Man to win.
well, the Ascended Man has won.
And there it is.
There you go. The Ascended
Dio,
Man,
it's just, the Ascended Man is too good.
he is too good.
It's too good.
He's too good. He's too good. Alright. Congratulations to the Ascended Man. He is indeed the fashion god.
We'll see him in part 7 at some point.
Some point
What's happening to this segment in part 6?
we'll come up with something different.
Do we have Giorno in the new suit? Because that's not a spoiler anymore.
Okay. Alright. Part 6, we'll come up with a new segment. It'll probably be like Iraqi nonsense scale. Or we just might do the power scale.
The power scale.
I mean, there's only going to be 40 episodes. So, endless, running
Alright.
ridiculousness. Alright, there
We
you go.
appreciate the people watching the show, Christian. And we have a few questions.
We have a few more questions to end it at. Return the Slabs returns for the final episode. He has been here every week with a question for us.
Give us the questions.
He has a couple for us. What is something you think Araki does better than any other mangaka, aside from fashion? I've told you already. He is the master of the situation. Master of the situation.
He has an uncanny ability. We talk about the hype versus arse pull ratio.
He threads that line.
And he threads 16 needles at once.
For the
nails
ultimate
all
hype.
of them.
For the ultimate mix of hype and believability. Alright? That's what Araki's the best at, alright? That's what Araki's the best at. Alright. Next question. If you could see a spin-off character from part 1 to 5, who would you choose? A spin-off following one character. From 1 to 5. Do you want to be the boss? Or whatever the fuck Dira was doing before Egypt. Massive question still left in the lore.
Okay.
What the fuck was Dira doing before Egypt?
And what time period would that be?
Between him escaping the coffin and Egypt.
That he wasn't in?
Well, you know. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Maybe he was looking for the arrows.
Well, I know what he was looking for, but I can't say that, can I?
So you do know?
Not really. Not really.
Okay.
Alright. How did he find out that information? Question mark. Was it from studying
no spoilers,
ancient art?
No spoilers, Christian.
What?
We know Jorno's ability.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible that he's in part 9?
A version of the Jorno, sure.
I'm talking about Jorno. Is it possible? It could be possible with his ability.
I guess. Not really.
Why
I
not?
guess.
Why
Maybe. Maybe. I'll give it a maybe. I'll give it a maybe.
I want to... Araki.
Araki has said nothing about it.
Why can't I have another season of Jorno being the boss?
Because you can't have it. That's why. Can't have it. Alright, there you go. Alright.
Closing out the show, Christian, we appreciate...
We got one more question.
Oh, who's the last question?
Badger asked the last question. On a scale of 0 to lore, how broken is Gold of Experience Requiem? He's past lore.
Shanks.
He's on the Shanks level.
A little bit below Shanks.
Alright. One peg below the God King.
Yeah.
Because the ability...
We already said this. Shanks is the God King.
Jorno's the King of Kings.
Jorno's the King of Kings.
Alright? He's the right-hand man to Shanks.
Yeah.
Broken. In every regard. Alright? Now, as you notice, the arrow's not in him anymore, so he has to stab himself with the arrow again to...
I thought it chose him and embedded it inside his arm.
Yes, but you saw the arrow in his hand. So he has to do that again and power up to use Gold Experience Record.
That's fine.
But he still has the ability.
He's already busted.
And he's already busted. So there you go. Alright. And there it is.
Does the arrow just slip out?
Yeah.
It's like a time thing.
It's like a timed power up, I guess.
Alright. In the back pocket.
It's always in the back pocket. And that's a dangerous weapon. Alright?
We appreciate people watching the show. It will return.
Whenever Jojo returns.
We'll be here.
Will there be a Fugo OST? Maybe.
But we'll return if there is.
We'll return if there is. Alright. Jojo show. Finale. Stay gold. Shanks is the Gold King.
Good night.